Ladies, welcome to this video today. I want to make a quick video guide for the new post that I made yesterday. I believe strongly in the ability for you to be able to start learning and implementing from the bed so that you can see a quick win. When it comes to quick wins, I mean that if you are in this group, chances are you are a lady that struggle with not be able to lose weight or not be able to keep the weight off. So what I think is that, especially in this era, which we are in an era of change, that if you're able to see the results right from the bat, if you're able to get to results from the bat, you are much more motivated and likely to continue something that you're doing, and so therefore you feel like you're winning. So what I put inside the program yesterday is a guide that talks about what we like to call level 1 nutrition, which I like to call intuitively eating, which is not the intuitive eating which you might have read books about, or might be that, you know, if you are a person that is overweight or obese, clinically obese, that you just feel like, you know, we're gonna ask the body what it needs and we're just gonna follow whatever the body says. It's not that way. Intuitively eating, for most people in that sense, doesn't work. It's not, if you listen to your body and feel like, okay, it's gonna tell me what I need, most likely you're gonna end up not getting the results you want. What I'm saying is, like, how can we practically and predictably really know how we need to eat without necessarily tracking your calorie, without necessarily getting our lives upside down. So what I'm sharing here at the moment, in a moment, it's really the screen of the post that I made, and that talks about, and I'm just gonna make this, let's say, yes, perfect. And this is a post which I made about a couple of yes, there you go. Here are the posts, and it's really a step-by-step guide. And I just want to make sure that, well, somebody's really persistent today. Just want to make sure. Just give me a second. I'm gonna turn this off. All right, finally. Okay, perfect. So we can have the. So let me see if you see the screen here. This is a level 1 guide, and again, I just want to make sure that you are able to see it, because we're gonna drive through whatever it needs to you need to do when it comes to learning these skills, which you're gonna find also in the guide section. You're gonna find the guide section. There is this level 1 nutrition, and really, it's really about being able to predictably understand how to eat on a daily basis, right? Now, if you are inside my program, you can watch this, but I would highly disregard the fact that you might want to follow this, because when you are in my program, as you know exactly, that we go through not only the tactical and the strategical component to do this on a personalized level, but chances are I already given you direction specifically on a weekly or bi-weekly basis to what to do next. So you can still watch that, but necessarily it might be something that it doesn't necessarily apply to you. This is mostly for people that are in this group that wants to get some value, that want to learn some skills and want to learn some foundation of nutrition, which 100% you need. And even if you were to implement half of this, you probably get results. Okay. So what we're doing here, we're really jumping into these links here, which basically is a calculator that is going to give you a theoretical base of you how many calories you need inside a day. Okay, you're a female. Let's say you're a female in 40s. You weigh 80 kilos, or let's say 85 kilo. You can change that in metric. You can put that in pounds if you want. You are, let's say, 160, right? And again, you can change it in pound. I advise you stay all the time on a sedentary job unless you are a person that works out a lot. Otherwise, you can just put it. But even if you work out a light exercise, just put this. It's going to be much more realistic. If you know your body fat, you can put it in our program. We calculated, or I calculated for you, to get this calculation as accurate as possible. Even though you are doing it on your own, don't be discouraged. Even though if it's not accurate, like, chances are it's 80% better what you're currently doing, which is basically going blind. Okay. When you do that, then you get something that is a calorie intake per day, meaning like what would your body needs on total in a day or in a week. Your body thinks in weeks, not in days. This is like the weekly calorie count. And we know that if in this week we're going to establish a around like a 10,000 calorie deficit, right, for the week, we know that we will have lost, technically, theoretically, you should have lost half a kilo or 1 pound, okay? Now, if you know that, right now, you know, like the starting point right now. So if you wish to, again, if you want to do, and if you're watching this, and if I'm tagging you in this, chances are you're doing this on your own. If you're in my program, you do that, you know, in my program. If you're a person that really are ready to change and you understand, and after watching all these videos that I can actually help you, what I want you to comment down below is metabolics, which basically is a word for me to understand that you're requesting for help, for me to be able to help you out and actually take you to the next level. Okay, one more time. If you're tired of struggling and you understand this context and you say, I tried this before and it's not working, it isn't because you are not, the system is not working. It's probably because you are not calculating this stuff correctly, or because you're or underestimating the calorie or underreporting the calorie that you're eating, or you don't know how to implement it, or it might be even because of your metabolism that is adapted, okay? So it could be many of one thing. But again, if you want help, you can type metabolics down there. And this is kind of like the first step. If you are doing this on your own, you calculate it. And what I want you to do after, you take a screenshot of that, and you post it inside a group with my tag on it, okay? So to recap, the first thing you do, you calculate your own daily need based on how the video says, and then you post, okay? Now you should by nature establish a bed by day, 300 to 600 calories per day in a second. You'll see in a second how to do that. The second thing I want you to watch, which is basically step number 3, is these pictures about the anytime meal, right? Which is basically what a meal should look like, and this is why it's called intuitively eating, because it's not because you want to figure out what your body is asking you. You want to eat chips, or you want something salty, or you want something sweet, and you're going to give it to the body. But you intuitively feel like you can feel your meat, like most of the time, I want to call it like 70 to 80% of your meal are going to be composed of vegetable, right? It's going to be composed of 1 protein and 1 fat, right? We know that if we need to eat 1,700 calories a day, right? 1,700 calories, we said here something 17, right? And we can start by saying, okay, let's eat, if we do three meals, let's eat 1,500, right? So all we need is really to create 3 meals a day that each of them are 500 calories, okay? How do you know that? You do that. All you need to do is really to choose one side of starches. This is what one side of starches look like for most of the part, right? So either popcorn, sweet potato, 100 calories of this, 100 calories of whatever you see here, right? You choose based on preference and based on volume and fulfillment, meaning like if you know that you're a person that is always hungry, chances are you're not going to eat half of a sweet potato for 100 calories. Chances are you're going to fill this with a like you can put one side of starch, right? And you're going to fill this with something that of the nature of popcorn or maybe watermelon or whatever the case is. Then you know that you need a big chunk, maybe like around 200 calories of vegetable, right? So what you do next, you're looking at a picture of the vegetable here, or the fruit, vegetable, right? It should be vegetable as well here. Hopefully, I don't know if I put it, but anyway, you know vegetable, right? I mean, you cucumber, whatever. Usually is a two side of vegetable is something like this big or double, right? 200 calories. And then you know that you need at least a protein in there, okay? So whatever I put as a protein, you can use this. Again, I would go with either meat or you know, fish or chicken or whatever the case is, something that has relatively low fat into, right? And then you can basically just, by nature, if you choose in this picture, right, one of healthy fat if you need to. I wouldn't necessarily put it if you don't need to. But, you know, vegetable and fruit, 100 calories each. You put one side of starches. Chances are you would have made a healthy meal, like intuitively healthy meal. And you do that 3 times a day. Now, how do you know if you're doing a good job? all you need to really do, like the post says, you post about your picture, okay? You visualize the macros and then you post, okay? If you want to go one level deeper, you just start eating vegetable first, fruit second, protein third, and then like this is kind of like a scale of importance for you to be fulfilled, and also for slow release of your sugar inside your body. But I would say the most important thing is really to visualize this picture, to create a meal which roughly is around 500 to 600 calories based on what you need to eat, right? Or 400, and then to find your metabolism. To recap, the one thing that I want you to post, I want you to take this picture and post it, right? And that's step number one, okay? The last one, I want you to take a picture of step number 4 and just based on this plate, post what your plates look like, and I'm going to be helping you out. Now, this is what you do if you are inside this group that you want me to help you out here. If you're really serious about instead, if you're a lady that you've been struggling and you're tired of struggling, and you do understand that, when you do something alone, most of the time it doesn't work, but not because the system doesn't work, but technically because you don't work. And I don't want to say it on a bad way, but there is a lot of things that you need to take into consideration, like misreporting calories, your metabolism being adapted, you not being ready to lose weight. Usually there are 3 things why you don't lose weight. You either are not in a calorie deficit and you think you are, your metabolism is not ready to lose weight, or you're adapted to weight loss. So you need to do something for that. And unfortunately, there is not a way for you to learn something very complex by yourself. You need to get coaching on it so that you can finally build the body that you want and keep it that way. If that's the case, I want you to comment metabolics down below, and I'm going to talk to you on the other side. This is Coach Jerry here. Hopefully this is helpful, and I'm going to link you if you are in this group, as you might feel like it's something that you need help with when it comes to intuitively eating. Jerry, talk to you very soon.